So that being said, let's take this total number and subtract the fee. I saved a total of...
Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Honestly, taking advantage of my credit card benefits is actually one of my favorite side hustles because why not take advantage of something that you already have, paying for, and have available to you? And since for the past 2 years, I've been the user of the American Express Platinum Card, which also happens to be one of the most well-known and sort of controversial credit cards in the market just because of its ridiculously high annual fee. I just wanted to make an honest review. I'm going to be doing this video a little bit differently though from what you probably have seen out there on YouTube.
I have the spreadsheet here. I just did the math and calculated all the benefits that I used this year and how much money I saved. I have the total amount of money that I saved over here, and I'm going to compare it to the annual fee, and then you're gonna know if I ended up saving money or losing money this year. So if you're curious about the result that I got, please make sure to watch this video till the end.
Okay, so I have my spreadsheet in front of me, so I do want to start with the benefits that I did use this past year. All right, let's start with first one, which is probably one of the most well-known benefits, and that is going to be the $200 fine hotel and resorts credit. So I think when I first heard of this benefit, I thought it was a really cool perk because $200 seems like a lot of money. But again, if you are considering booking a hotel through the Fine Hotel Collection, one thing you do need to know is that those hotels are usually on a really pricey side, especially if you're considering something within the United States or Canada or, even Europe.
$2,000 per night?
Yikes. But if you're considering going to places like, somewhere in like Southeast Asia or like South America, places where they do have really nice hotels that are not necessarily as expensive, you might actually get your money's worth. But another thing I want to let you know is that if you are considering, again, Fine Hotel Collection, there is a 2-night minimum, which again makes it really hard to help that credit cover your entire stay there. So definitely something you want to keep in mind. So another really cool perk that comes with the $200 hotel credit is actually a $100 experience credit. But it's pretty much the $100 that you can use during your stay at one of the Fine hotel and resorts, and you can redeem it towards things like a breakfast, room service, spa, whatever it is that you want to do, which in itself should make your hotel stay even nicer. This is one of the things that you really need to check before you check into a hotel because I think different hotels have different rules for this one.
Okay, and so far we've saved $300.
The American Express Platinum Card is what is known as the Premium Travel Card, which means that most of the benefits that you will see on this card are associated with travel. So again, unless you already travel a lot, I probably wouldn't recommend this card. You're probably not really going to get your money's worth. Only get credit cards that have benefits that are related to something that you're already doing. Don't get the card thinking,
oh, I am going to now start traveling and doing all the things that I wasn't doing before.
Because personally, I don't think that's the best financial decision. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my experience and my opinion, so please make sure to do your own research. There you go, a disclaimer, checkbox. Okay, and then the next benefit that I want to mention is the $200 airline credit. This one is supposed to be used for things like, baggage fees, or you can also use it to purchase Wi-Fi. The little caveat is that you do have to pick a preferred airline, so you only will be getting credits for that specific airline. So my airline of choice is the United Airlines, and I do remember there was one time where I had to pay for an extra bag, and I thought that Amex would cover it, but no, it didn't because it had to be specifically with the United Airline, and I was flying a different airline that day. So definitely something to keep in mind.
And so with the airline credit, our total is now $500.
Okay, cool. So the next perk, which surprisingly took me way too long to take advantage of, was the digital entertainment credit. So Amex does give you a $240 digital entertainment credit, which you can use for services like Audible, New York Times, SiriusXM, Peacock, and another really cool one, which we recently finally signed up for, was the Disney bundle, which includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. So it was a really cool way to save on a lot of our subscriptions. This is actually a really cool perk that you should definitely take advantage of.
So with the $240 digital entertainment credit, our total is now $740. And let's take a quick look at the numbers that we have now. So with just these 4 benefits, if you do use them within the year, that already in itself pays off the annual fee, which is really cool.
Okay, next let's talk about the $200 Uber credit. So I believe it's $15 per month, and then in December you get $20. And I honestly don't know if it's still the case now, but I do remember during COVID where nobody was going anywhere or traveling, I could actually use that towards Uber Eats, which was really cool because, I could order an extra meal. Yep, I confirmed it's still a thing.
Okay, sweet, and that was another $200 towards team savings.
Oh, and this is also a very quick reminder that if you are enjoying this video so far, please make sure to hit that like button because it really helps a small YouTuber like myself grow here on this channel. Your support means so much to me. And in general, if you enjoy content about finance, side hustles, and productivity, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Wednesday. But anyway, let's talk about the next two perks, which are actually some of my favorite. So first one is the TSA Precheck fee credit. Is that how you say it? Okay, but anyway, I don't know how I lived without TSA Precheck before, considering how much I travel. If you are not familiar with what I'm talking about, if you do have TSA Precheck, the government kind of runs your background ahead of time and has all your paperwork. So whenever you go through security, there's a different line for TSA Precheck. So you get to oftentimes skip the line and then you don't have to take your shoes off, which again may not seem like a big deal unless you're traveling during the holidays and the line for TSA is like out the door and then you have to spend so much time waiting and risk missing your flight or just, risk being just really stressed standing in lines. And your TSA Precheck application does cost $85. It is good for 5 years, so I wouldn't call it like an annual credit. It is more of like a one-time credit, but again, it's a really awesome perk. So if you have the American Express card, like definitely get your TSA Precheck since it's already covered. So the next perk is very similar to the TSA Precheck. It is the annual Clear credit. If you're not familiar with Clear, they are in some way similar to TSA Precheck, where the idea is the same. You're skipping the line. Can you guys tell I don't like standing in lines? And they do take, I think, like the picture of your eyes or like the biometrics or something like that. I don't even remember how the onboarding looked like, but you do have to get like onboarded at the airport to start using it. They do have those machines that scan your eyeballs. That's literally what it looks like. Clear will know exactly who you are and just escort you through the line, so you don't even have to show your ID. As you probably can already tell, aside from maybe the digital entertainment credit, every perk so far has been related to travel, so that just to back up what I was telling you at the beginning.
All right, so after adding the Clear credit and the TSA credit, our total is now $1,214 saved.
And if you like what you're hearing so far, just wanted to remind you that you can use my referral link down below. You will get a pretty hefty sign-on bonus if you use my referral link down below. And by the way, you don't have to apply specifically for the American Express Platinum. If there are any other cards that fit your lifestyle and your goals a little bit more, you will still get the sign-on bonus. So just make sure you take advantage of this opportunity. And as I mentioned, the link will be down below. Okay, now let's talk about the perk that I notice a lot of YouTubers always complain about, but I personally love this perk, and that is the $100 SAX credit per year. One thing that I do want to make sure you're aware of is that you can't just use $100 all at once, so it's split $50 first 6 months of the year and then $50 the second 6 months of the year. And I heard a lot of people complaining like,
$50 is really not going to get you much at Saks because everything is really expensive.
However, I did want to remind you that Saks does sell things like skincare, perfumes, colognes, fancy shampoos, like all of this stuff that, it could be a nice gift or could be a nice treat for yourself. So for example, I do buy a lot of, fancy serums or like skincare, anything like that using my Saks credit, which is probably why all of you think that I'm a teenager, but I'm actually 28. And that is because, good skincare really pays off. And if you have Amex, why not take advantage of this? And by the way, please make sure to follow me on Instagram. It is my personal account. I don't post content about personal finance or personal development there. I more so show what having multiple streams of income allows me to do with my life. So if you want to get to know me on the personal level, make sure to follow me at Christina_NGM on Instagram. Sorry for interrupting this video. Let's get back to it. So another perk that I've noticed people have been complaining about, saying it's kind of and like who's going to use it, which is the Walmart Plus subscription. So if you're not familiar with Walmart Plus, I would say I would straight up just call it Walmart's way of competing with Amazon Prime. So this subscription gives you a lot of great perks like, free delivery with no minimum. You can also get a 2-hour delivery from your local store, which comes in really handy when, you need something last minute, but you don't really want to go to a store. I've used it multiple times in those situations. I believe I watched some YouTuber who said like, oh, do people who like travel to find resorts and like go to Equinox like really use Walmart Plus subscription? Yeah, here I am. Maybe not until you need something last minute and you really want it to get delivered to your house and you don't want to go outside. That's when you realize that you could use a Walmart Plus subscription.
And so after taxes, it comes down to about $14 and I think 10 cents. So let's just multiply this by 12. You get a total saving $169. So if we add up our Saks credit and the Walmart Plus credit, which by the way on the website they tell you slightly lower number, but again after taxes what you get. So our total is now $1,483, which is awesome.
So now I wanted to jump to a couple of other perks that I did use this past year, and it's kind of hard to put the exact value on these ones because again it can go either way, but let's talk about the sign-on bonus. So when I first signed up for Amex, I did get 100,000 Amex points. There is a minimum spend that you have to hit. It is this much. So after you hit that minimum spend, Amex will give you 100,000 points to use towards flight, hotels, so you name it. You can also use it as a statement credit, but honestly when you redeem it as a statement credit, the redemption value is pretty poor, so I don't recommend doing it this way unless you absolutely have to. And I remember what I ended up redeeming my credits for. So we were actually taking a flight from LA to New York City. It was me and my husband. I believe the tickets were around $600 or $700 one way for two people. So let's just say it was $600 that we're going to put in the spreadsheet. But in general, I definitely think $100,000 can, buy you something a lot nicer. So again, depending on the time of the year and the destination that you're going to, you can definitely get a much better value out of those 100,000 points. But in our situation, we kind of had to make that trip. So that's what I ended up using it for. Okay, and the next perk that I think is kind of hard to put the value on is the airport lounge access. I know it's definitely not a necessity, but I don't know. I've been loving my lounge access, especially with how much I travel all the time. And I know when you think of the lounge access, most people think of the Centurion lounges by American Express, which are super duper nice and I love them. They have an open bar. They usually have like full-on buffet. However, your American Express card also comes with the Priority Pass, which I have right here, which also gives you access to a whole bunch of other different lounges around the world, which comes in pretty handy because not every single airport has the American Express lounge. And then also every time you're traveling, you can go into your American Express app and also look up what lounges are available to you depending on the airport you're going into, because some of them will accept you with just the American Express card and some of them will require the Priority Pass. They're kind of sort of two different programs, but they overlap in certain situations. But yeah, anyway, like this is honestly one of my favorite perks. I've been to like the Delta Lounge, the Air India Lounge, the Virgin Atlantic Lounge, like a lot of different lounges that I have never been to and not really a part of American Express, but are still really, really cool lounges to go to. So I know it's kind of hard to put the value on it, but the other day I did take this one flight and I didn't have lounge access in that specific airport, which was a bummer. And I remember I got really hungry before my flight and I was like, okay, I need to eat something. So I just went to an airport restaurant and all I did was I ordered a Caesar salad. That was it. And literally after tax and tip, it came out to about $30 for a Caesar salad. I remember I was like, I better not order a drink right now. That was a really expensive salad in my opinion. Even for an airport, it wasn't anything like nice either. And honestly, the salad kind of sucked, whatever.
So it took about 8 trips this year where I had to travel by plane. So multiplied by 2 because you do have to fly back. So that would be about 16. So let's say you take this number and then multiply it by 16. That was total $480 saved.
Which I usually do eat and drink way more than just have a salad in most of those airport lounges because I like food. I personally think the value is way higher than that.
But let's just say this is the bare minimum that I would be saving.
So that is something to keep in mind. So lounge access is definitely underrated, I believe, when it comes to saving money.
Okay, so our total is $2,563, which is amazing. So that being said, let's take this total number and subtract the fee. I saved a total of $1,868 this year, which is awesome. So as you can see, it totally offsets the annual fee.
Okay, and now let's discuss a few really cool perks that Amex has that I didn't personally use this year, but are, part of the benefits. So the first one is going to be the cruise privilege credit, which is $300. So I believe you can use it as a statement credit or kind of like a spending credit when you go on cruises. I personally have not done a cruise book through Amex Travel yet, but if you have, let me know in the comments down below. below and let us all know how it worked. And then the other one is the Equinox $300 credit, which again is pretty cool. Again, I just want you to know the way that the $300 credit works is that it's split between 12 months. I believe it's about $25 per month that they give you that you can use as like a discount for whatever you're paying for Equinox. And then you also do get a $300 credit towards the SoulCycle bike, which SoulCycle is owned by Equinox, in case you didn't know. So that's another really cool perk if you do like, you know, indoor cycling. And then finally, this one can really vary, but Amex does offer you a lot of cool coupons that you can use. I don't know coupons, but like statement credits, but pretty much works the same way as coupons. So in some ways you can get like, you know, a decent amount off of brands like Burberry. There are a lot of different statement credits you can use towards hotels that I see all the time. Again, it applies to shopping, it applies to entertainment, it applies to experiences. So a lot of different cool perks. But again, everybody's savings are gonna vary depending on how much they shop. And I know some of you are gonna be like,
well, you're not really saving money because you're always spending more money anyway.
But again, I keep saying it over and over again, if you were going to do it anyway, you might as well use your Amex. But if you weren't going to, don't, because you're going to be losing money. And again, there are quite a few more benefits that you can use in Amex, things like phone insurance, I think car insurance, you can get discounted rate of car rentals. So again, a lot of travel related benefits.
Okay, and let's just say if I hypothetically did end up using these credits, this would be my new total saved. So this is a pretty impressive number.
But yeah, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on the American Express. Are you gonna get it? If you already have it, what is your favorite perk? Because I'm super curious. And also just a very friendly reminder to make sure to hit that like button because it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And if you enjoy videos about side hustles, personal finance, and passive income, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Wednesday. And that is pretty much it for today, guys. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!